Well, turning now to the war in Ukraine, Russia launched a record drone strike on multiple Ukrainian cities overnight. The attacks primarily targeted the city of Lutsk in the northwest part of the country. Ukraine's Air Force says most of the drones were struck down and no casualties were reported. Moscow scaled up attacks in the hours after U.S. President Donald Trump criticized Russian President Vladimir Putin and reversed his stance on sending additional arms to Ukraine. Now, Anna Cunningham joins us now from the London Bureau. Anna, what do we know about these latest attacks?
Morning, Crystal. Well, Ukraine is describing this as the biggest missile and drone strike of the war to date. In terms of the numbers of missiles, it says Russia attempted to hit 741 targets. It used 728 drones and 13 missiles. Now, these images that we're looking at are from Ukraine's state emergency services. You can see the firefighters there putting out those fires from the strike. This is in the northwestern city of Lutsk. The overnight Russian attacks do appear to have been focused mainly in the west of Ukraine, but even in the capital, Kyiv, it was another sleepless night for many people there, with those air raid sirens continuing. Now, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has been sharing his thoughts on social media this morning. He says this. He describes this as a telling attack, and it comes precisely, he says, at a time when so many efforts have been made to achieve peace, to establish a ceasefire, and yet only Russia continues to rebuff them all. He added that this is yet another proof of the need for sanctions, biting sanctions against oil, which has been fueling Moscow's war machine with money for over 3 years of the war. He goes on to say secondary sanctions on those who buy this oil and thereby sponsor killings. Our partners know how to apply pressure in a way that will force Russia to think about ending the war, not launching new strikes. Everyone who wants peace must act. Now, Crystal, President Zelensky, we know, has repeatedly called for tougher sanctions, and he is looking for his Western allies to really up their support. It is expected that the Ukrainian president will hold a call with Emmanuel Macron whilst the French president is on a state visit here to the UK. There's a summit that's due on Thursday with the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and Ukraine will certainly be a focus then. Crystal.
Well, Anna, these strikes, they come hours after the U.S. president said that the U.S. would resume sending weapons to Ukraine and criticized the Russian president with some rather strong language. Where do things stand right now between Trump and Putin?
Well, look, today, let's just put a caveat in here, because we do know that the President, Donald Trump, has changed his stance repeatedly on Russia. But today, it does seem that President Trump is not happy with the Russian President, Vladimir Putin. Take a listen to what he said Tuesday at the White House.
I'm not happy with Putin. I can tell you that much right now, because he's killing a lot of people. And a lot of them are his soldiers and their soldiers, mostly. And it's now up to 7,000 a week. And I'm not happy with Putin. We get a lot of thrown at us by Putin, for you want to know the truth. He's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless.
Clearly, President Trump's patience appears to be wearing thin with his Russian counterpart. Efforts on a possible peace deal have faltered so far. But, Crystal, in terms of US weapons provision for Ukraine, we know that Donald Trump has acknowledged that Ukraine is currently being hit hard by Russia. He was reportedly caught off guard by the Pentagon's abrupt move last week to pause Ukraine weapons deliveries. He's now overturned that. He is promising to send Ukraine 10 Patriot missiles. Ukraine says it's waiting confirmation on that, but they have described that number as minuscule compared to what is needed. And we are just hearing this morning, Crystal, that the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is going to be meeting directly at the Vatican this morning with Pope Leo. The Vatican saying that this is going to be their second in-person meeting since Pope Leo was elected. Crystal.
Anna, thank you very much. Anna Cunningham reporting from London for us.